I think we can choose the presentation first. Okay, so let me close the QR code. Okay, now let me randomly select the students. Okay, for I think I will select all the list. Okay, so who will be the first, the second, the third, okay, and until the last one. Okay, let me start with the first one. First one is Hans, because he cannot come today. Let me close and let we randomly select. Okay, again, let's start one more time. Okay, the first one is blessing. Okay, the first one is blessing. So let me remove and let me take notes first. Okay, now the second one will be okay. Will be that. So you will be the second one. Let me remove. Let me click one more. Okay, Jonathan. Jonathan cannot come today because of PCR test. So I think he can do next week. Okay, let me remove and let's try another one. Okay, Ardian. Okay, he didn't come today. So let me write Ardian. Okay, Kenzie will be the fifth. Okay. So Maria will be the sixth. Remember your order that this is the sixth one. Okay, Helen will be the next one, the seventh. Okay, Hans will be the eighth, and the last one will be Jordan. Okay. That will be the order. Okay, the order for our presentation. So let's start from the first one. Let me stop this. The first one is blessing. Okay. If you prepare your presentations for 5 to 10 minutes. You can unmute your sound if you want to talk.
Oh yeah, I've forgot mine, bro.
Yeah,
Uh,
if you want to share
share the
your
video.
screen, yeah,
Yeah, I
you
want to
can
share
share
this.
your screen. Okay. And for the other, you can prepare any questions, any topics that you want to discuss with Blessing. Okay. Okay. So yeah, Blessing,
Okay, bro.
you can present.
Okay. Prof, can you see my screen, Prof?
Yes. Do you want
Oh,
to share a video or you want to share
oh,
PowerPoint?
video,
I
bro.
think if you want to share video in the Google Meet, the sound will be not include
Oh,
inside.
oh, oh.
Can
Let me
you
try, Prof.
use your yeah PowerPoint instead?
Let me try, Prof.
Okay. Yeah. No sound.
Oh, oh,
No sound. This is actually the Google Meet technical problem. So you
okay,
cannot play a video to be heard by others. So I suggest you to use other methods.
okay. So I'll just so hello everyone. My name is Blessing. So now I'm gonna present about parabol in mathematics. So what is parabola move? So parabola is a plane curve which is mirror symmetrical and is approximately U-shaped, and it leaves several superficially and different mathematical description which all can be proved and define exactly the same curves. So this is the graph of a parabola looks like. So it's like approximately the U shape. So so now we are gonna move to a question. So here I'm gonna provide the question and we're gonna solve it together. So this is the one of the example questions. So the first one, given y equal ax squared plus bx plus c through point 3, 17, 1, 4, and minus 1, 7. So here the question asking for the parabola equation. So now, so so from the equation, we're gonna put uh, all of the points all of the point to the y equation. So the first one, from the first point, we get 17 equals 9a plus 3b plus c, which is the first equation. And the next one is 4 equals a plus b plus c, which is the second equation. And the last one is 7 equals a minus b plus c, which is the third equation. So So the first step we're gonna do is like we're gonna minus the third equation by the second equation, which is 7 equals a minus b plus c, minus 4 equals a plus b plus c, and it will be 3 equals minus 2b, and b is gonna be 3 minus 3 over 2, and we got the value of the b. So the next step is after getting the value of b, then we could choose of three equation we have. Here I choose the second equation to substitute the value of the b, so we can get our more advanced equation to make us easier to get the value of other C, A, and C. So next, the second equation is 4 equals A plus B plus C. So 4 equals A. So if we substitute the value of the B, which is minus 3 over 2, so the value is going to be 4 equals A minus 3 over 2 plus C. And then we got the the value, and we're gonna move the minus 3 over 2 to the left side, and it's gonna be a plus c equals 11 over 2. And this is gonna be our fourth equation, which is the new equation we got. So after we get the fourth equation, so now we can move further. Now we know the value of a plus c is 11 over 2. Now we can use the first equation to be substituted by. So 17 equal 9a plus 3b plus c. It is the first equation. So we're going to put the value of a plus c to the to this equation. So it's going to be 9a plus c equals 34 over 2 plus 11 over 2. So the 9a plus c, it's going to be 43 over 2. And this is, we got also the new equation, which is the fifth equation. So the next step is, so the next step is like we're gonna eliminate this fourth and fifth equation. So the fifth equation is 9a plus c equals 43 over 2, and the a plus c, which is the fourth equation, is 11 over 2. So if we minus these two equations, it we will get like 8a equals 16. So we could get the value of the a is 2, because like a, and we are gonna divide the 16 by the 8, and we will get the value of a. So by getting the value of a, so it makes us easier to find the value of the last variable that we are seeking for to complete the y equation to create a parabol equation. So the as we know that the value of a is 2, and we got the fourth equation, which is a plus c equals 11 over 2. So c equals 11 over 2 minus 4 over 2. So we can get the value of the c is 7 over 2. So now our three variable that we are seeking for to be fulfilled in the y equation to create a parabol equation is complete. So now let us complete the equation of the y given in the question. So as we know, the y equation provided for us is ax to the power of 2 plus bx plus c. So we're gonna put the value of the a, b, and c into the equation. So the value of the a we have got is like 2. So we're gonna change the a with 2. So it becomes 2x squared minus, and we're gonna put the value of the b into the equation too, which is the minus 3 over 2. And so it's gonna be minus 3 over 2x plus the value of the c is 7 over 2. So here we got the equation that the question is asking for the parabol equation. So this is our parabol equation. So to create a parabol equation in a graph, it's actually related to like quadratic equation. So if you find a quadratic equation, so it means the form of the graph will be like parabol, because quadratic equation always be a parabol move. So the next one, this equation is not proven, which is like created a parabol graph or not. So here I'm using a Desmos graph creator, and I like put in this equation to the graph creator in using Desmos. So here's the result. So this is I like put the equation at the left side, and the curve and the application create the graph like this. So it's like proven that our equation that we have got is creating parabol equation and creating a parabol shape in the graph. So Uh, what is the real application of parable in real life? We teenager usually see actually in the university in our real life. So I think one of the common example of this parable move is parable shape, parable movement that happen in our real life is basketball. So when we do a 3 point shot, not even just a 3 point, but even like when you do layup, when you do a passing, it will like create a parable move, which is the trajectory of the ball of the basketball. So the I think the most relatable application and example of the parable shape, parable movement in our teenager life is basketball. So this is the example of parable. Uh, thank you. This is my presentation.
Okay, thank you, Blessing, for
Yeah,
the
sorry.
presentation. Okay, let's open the discussion. So, anyone you can discuss with Blessing. Anyone has a question? Okay, maybe uh, anything to ask, or maybe topics that you might want to ask to Blessing. Is there anyone? You can ask many things. You can ask what's the applications of that parable, and also other things as well if you want. And you can write into the chat box if you don't want to speak. Any questions? Remember, I told you yesterday that you need to prepare at least 2 or 3 questions, and you need to look on the drive folder and watch all the other students' video. Okay, any questions from students? Okay, Ardian, uh, will we further use it in engineering? Okay, so can you elaborate, Blazing? Blazing?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, bro. I think the parable move it's gonna be useful in engineering for the further because like I'm taking the civil engineering for like some shape of the building, like if you want to create a building that is shaped by cone, so you like need a parable to create to I wait to explain the to the to explain the force distribution of the building. I think it's more to like explain the distribution of the force of some kind certain shape of the building. For example, if you want to create a cone building, a building that is a cone shape, so you will use that thing, and also the use of the parabolic curve provides a gradual change in direction along the curve in the civil engineering, especially when you want a counting force or something. So you need a parabola, and also you can like uh, describe a curve that you use in civil engineering in just like what I've said, like the distribution of the force in providing a gradual change in direction along the curve in the civil engineering. Thank you, Professor.
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, interesting fact.
Interesting fact. Uh, uh, I think I don't find any interesting fact about parables. So I can answer that.
I think interesting fact is like you mentioned the basketball, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
Uh,
So okay.
can you try to? I think this is also in physics. Like how can you make sure that your throwing is uh, as long as possible? How to make sure? Can you make sure using engineering, or can you make sure about the parabol? I think that's interesting.
Uh,
Like when you play basketball, you want to throw like 3 points,
yeah.
or maybe you want to throw from the middle, like a buzzer points, right? When usually the when it's nearly the end of the game, before the referee whistles, sometimes the player in the middle they will just throw as stronger as he can. So he throw from the middle, and then sometimes it's going in. And can you maybe provide any interesting fact about that, and maybe relate to parabola?
When you like talk about a parable in basketball, so the one we should know is like wait, uh, when you lift your hands, the position of the ball is we should count the height between the position of the ball from your hand and to the ring. So that is needed, and also what is like what is what is evac the length of your throw is also your angle. So your angle will like effect, and also the power that will create a speed, and also your the distance between you and the ring. So this main factor will like affect, and this so the height of your the ball from the ring hole, and also the angle that you create uh, uh, straight from the straight from the straight from the ring will affect the length of your throw. I think that, Professor. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that. And can you maybe showing you mentioned about angle? Can you mention how should we at least how the estimated angle that we need to take?
Uh,
How much the angle
uh,
will be?
actually, to create a perfect parabol shoot in basketball, you need to like create a 90 degrees of angles. So your so the ball will like goes perfectly parabolically to the ring. But if you lower the angle maybe like 80 70, so I think the ball will go straight and will not create you approximately shape of parabol. So I think it's like the ideal angle of creating a great parabol shoots, and the clear shot is like 90 or 80. Thank you, Professor.
Okay. I think for 90 is just looping to the upsides, right? But I think in physics, maybe you learn in physics and this semester that if you want to throw as long as possible, your angle should be 45-degree, right? Do you remember the physics class? Or anyone, can you remember? Yeah, I think that will be the angle that if you want to throw as long as possible. So if you want to throw from the middle or from the really far away, you need to try at least takes the degree 45 and then throw. You can watch the video of the any basketball player who throws from the middle, and averagely they will throw with the angle measurement of a 45 degree. Okay.
Thank you, Professor.
Yeah. Any other questions from other students? Okay. Remember, I will give you information that uh, see the order of the presentation. So today is blessing. Next week we'll be have two students for Tuesday, one student for Wednesday. So we will finish on at least we will finish on fourth week. Okay, fourth week we'll finish hopefully, and after that, if we have final exam, I will let you know. Okay. Uh, and also at the very end of our presentation at the fourth week, I want to give you a survey for our presentation. So the score, aside from my grading, you need to also give score to your friends. Okay, and you need to be objective. Okay, if you think that it is good, give a good score. If you think that it's average, give average score. And if you think they need to have some improvement, maybe you can give like yeah, maybe like a relatively small. So you need to watch all the presentations. If you cannot watch all, please watch on the recording. Okay, and then give the scoring. I will give the forms for you to fill in, okay, for the score. Okay, that will be uh, the evaluation of the PBL. Okay, and I hope within this PBL course, uh, you guys can have some informations and also knowledge about uh, the other chapters as well in our basic of math. So in the final exam, the questions will be from all chapters in our class, okay, and probably around 10 to 12 questions. So that will be the final exam. And remember, okay, after we finish, after the fourth week, you need to report write report, and then you need to submit it via Google Classroom. I will tell you later. Okay, maybe in next week or next 2 week, I will tell you how to submit and what is the criteria for the report. Okay, and I would like to add some notes for the parabola. Okay, because I think there is at least uh, two. Let me share my screen first. I think that there is one or maybe two significant points that are missing in the presentations. Okay, so first, if we want to talk about parabola, okay, this we need uh, to define the parabola first. Okay, aside from the definition on the blessings presentation, we need to define the parabola. At least we have two definitions, as in the algebra that we have learned in a polynomial also, in the parabola in the algebra, which is the quadratic equations, and as in the geometry. Okay, because it's the same parabola, but it's different definitions. Okay, so if you want to talk about more about trajectory and how about the positions of the parabola, you're talking about the geometry. Okay, so geometric definitions is, I think, better to explain in a picture. So if I have a picture, okay, if this is a parabola, okay, so a parabola is, okay, when you have a curve like this and you have a point that is we call the focus point. So this focus, okay, if we are drawing a distance, let me draw a distance. This focus to these vertices, okay, let's say we have some distance. Let's say this is a distance s, okay, distance s, and from these vertices into a line here, and let's say this line is called directrix. So it can be x-axis, it can be any line. So we can have this parabola in any locations, actually, okay, in any locations, regarding in any locations. Okay, so if this is just a line that is called a directrix, the distance between this point F and the curve to a directrix, this is the same distance. Okay, and this will be also similar to other points as well. So if we have this point here, if we have this is also the distance, let's say the distance L, this is also have the distance L. And if we have maybe around here, okay, it seems not proportional, so I did parabola wrong here. It should be also having the same distance. So this should be, let's say, V and V. So it should have the same distance. That's the definition of parabola. So the perfect parabola is all the points on the curve, when you move that point, it will create an equal distance between the curve and the point called focus and the curve to align this directrix line. Okay, this point here, the directrix. Okay. That will be the definition of parabola in geometry. Okay. In geometry. So this is, I think, important, okay, to define. In algebra, we already know that your parabola is defined by this, right? This is our definition, and we know that how to find the maximum point, the minimum point, the vertices. If we can factorize, what is the root, and so on and so forth, right? But in geometric, we are going to be going to focus on more about this distance, the distance between the focus and the curve, and also from the curve to a directrix. Okay, so that's the definition of parabola. Okay, and yeah, the uh, the basis, okay, for what we have here is actually, usually we call this in terms of if the distance here is p, okay, so all the distance is, we call the distance between the focus on the curve and the curve to a directrix is p. Okay, let's say this is a distance p. Then the equations in terms of geometric of parabola is x squared equal 4py. Okay, where the vertex, if it is on just a 4py, then the vertex will be 0, 0. The focus will be on 0p, okay, and the directrix will be negative p, or y equal negative p. So this will be a new equation in terms of geometric of parabola. Okay, so uh, I think the presentation itself, okay, for most students here, uh, first you will learn how to speaking in public, especially you need to speak out with your second language at least, right? because English is not your native language. So you need to speak with English. And the problem speaking with the second language is you need to find vocabularies or terms, or in a word, in a simple way, that maybe you find some difficulties in words. You need to find the simple words for you and for the audience to be understandable. Okay, so that's the uh, first thing that you need to also think. Okay, so presentation. So uh, prepare your presentation in a simple terms, but not simplified. Okay, that's different. Okay? Simple terms to understand a complex problem, if you have a complex problem. Second, you need to uh, define. Okay, define the problem easily, as easy as possible. What do I mean by easy is it's easy to understand. Okay, so you just not only reading words from the website, but you need to understand what that words is, and you need to teach to others. Okay, if you still not understand the problem or the definition, okay, or definition, then you need to look for other articles that maybe has some explanations. Okay, okay, I think this too is uh, important. Okay, so I hope everyone learn uh, day by day. Okay, as we move on to the last presentations, every students need to learn on how we need to present. And remember, this will this this seems how to say a practice way, or a practical way to exercise your public speaking as well. So yeah, and I think it will be really required if you want to go to some uh, industry. I know some people or some students not really have a confidence in speaking, but if you learn at least to speak in in audience, in front of other people, when you enter the industry, when you enter the real world, finding jobs, it will help you. It will help you. Definitely, it will help you. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Okay, so remember that we have this. Okay, and I think this will also be, I think, elaborated in Maria presentation, right? For parabola and ellipse in geometric terms. Okay, so we will find more about this geometric definitions and the ellipse definition on Maria's presentation. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So for other students, please prepare yourself very well. Okay. Uh, you don't need to explain your video again. You can add more contents. You can prepare with new presentations if you want. Okay, if you use the old presentation, that's okay, but you need to maybe add more a little bit contents, a little bit of some emphasize what is your goal in the presentations, and what is your idea, okay, in your presentation. Okay, if you just um, repeat your video, I think we already watched, and I hope you all already watched your friend's video. Okay, okay, I think that will be for today. Okay, that will be for today. So is there any questions, okay, regarding the PBL classes, or any informations that maybe you want to elaborate more? Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for today's presentation. And thank you, Blessing, for the presentation. And I hope everyone can learn every day, each day of our PBL classes. Okay. So let me stop the recording.